Hey, it's me, Pladley. Yes, that's my real name. Please don't look it up. The leaves have fallen and the sound of families arguing about politics over mashed potatoes is in the air, which can only mean one thing. It's Thanksgiving. It's a time to be thankful for blessings, a time to gain about 30 pounds from consuming an egregious amount of turkey, and it's the perfect time for that one uncle you only see once a year to make as many disparaging remarks about minorities as he possibly can. This year, I'm feeling just a bit more thankful than usual. You see, I got kicked out of my house, evicted, I lost about everything I owned, and I had to live in a hotel for a bit. And yes, the hotel staff did know I was living in that room. I didn't break in. I didn't just live there without anyone knowing. Why would you ask that? That's weird. That's a weird question for you to ask. Thankfully, I've since then moved into an apartment, and before you ask, yes, the apartment staff knows I'm living here. I didn't break in. I didn't break any locks. I didn't just move all my stuff in overnight, under the cover of darkness, while it was raining and cold. Back to Thanksgiving, it's also a great day for watching football. Considering how divided the United States is at the moment, it's nice that the family can gather together around the TV to enjoy something to take everyone's minds off the crazy political landscape. Oh wait, football is an age-old tradition, a tale as old as time, you could say. Two teams compete, one trying to get a leather ball across a 100-yard field with the other trying to stop them. There have been many football video games over the years, some seeing major commercial success and others being ABC Monday Night Football for PC. One of the more popular football video game franchises is, of course, Madden. But in recent years, they've become nothing but tools for a greedy company to shove microtransactions into in order to make an already pricey franchise into a money-making machine. In order to find an enjoyable football game, it's smart to go back in time and find an older game instead of crossing your fingers and hoping EA Sports will stop shoving in purchasable items into their $60 video games. There are some great options out there for more fun, crazy football games as opposed to the super duper realistic football simulators like Madden. NFL Blitz was a big hit since it was quite a chaotic, crazy, entertaining mess, but another great, fun, more simple football game was Backyard Football. Backyard Football was originally made by Humongous Entertainment, a company responsible for such classics as the Putt Putt, Freddy Fish, Pajama Sam, and Spy Fox games, as well as the abominable Fatty Bear's Birthday Surprise, which is a crime to humanity and should have never been made. The first game in the Backyard Football series released in 1999, with 10 subsequent games releasing over the next 10 years. The games weren't groundbreaking in terms of technology or gameplay, but they were fun games with a lot of charm and character. And characters. A lot of characters. So in keeping with the spirit of Thanksgiving being synonymous with football, today we're going to be talking about Backyard Football. That's the intro to this video. The game starts and there's an intro cutscene that introduces the main cast of the game, which includes a handful of actual NFL players, including Brett Favre, Barry Sanders, Steve Young, and some others. The main cast of the game is the Backyard Sports Gang, which not only appear in this game, but also other Backyard Sports games like basketball and baseball. Now we've reached the menu and there's a few different options here. There's a single game option where you can play a quick game against a randomly chosen computer team or play with another human if you're not a sad, lonely person. You can pick between a few football fields, set the weather to be sunny, rainy, or snowy, set the difficulty, etc. Then you can pick a team to play as. Personally, I'm a pretty big Arizona Cardinals fan. In fact, if a kid-sized hat that says Pro Gamer on the front counts as Arizona Cardinals merch, then that means I own one piece of Arizona Cardinals merch. So, yeah. I'm kind of a Cardinals fan. Next, I've got to select my team from an incredibly diverse cast of characters. Some of my favorite characters in the game are Steve Young, Dmitry Petrovich, and Kenny Kawaguchi, aka the only kid in a wheelchair. When I was a kid, I was worried that no one else would pick him, so I always picked him. I'm just always looking out for the little guy, I guess. There's a custom character option here too. You can pick the gender, birthday, head shape, hairstyle, skills, and name for the character. Personally, I went a bit simple here. Just changed the hairstyle, didn't give him any skills, making him a completely useless character, and named him Polio. Now that I've picked my team, I can pick which position they belong best in. I decided to put Polio on the kick return team because, I mean, come on, what else is he gonna do? I can't let him be quarterback, that would be too overpowered. Now that I've got everything set up, it's time to start the game. These two are the commentators, Sunny Day and Chuck Downfield. Sunny Day does the play-by-play commentary, while Chuck Downfield does an impression of the now retired NFL coach and commentator John Madden. And let me just say that he is quite an entertaining character. He's got such a fun energy in his commentary, as well as interesting analogies.
That kid went to work like a squirrel in a peanut factory.
I already explained the rules of football in great detail, which I'm sure was the most thrilling and entertaining section of dialogue you've ever heard in your life. This game only deviates from official football rules in a few ways. The quarters are 1 minute long, which makes games relatively short. Each team has to gain 20 yards for a first down instead of 10. The biggest difference between backyard football and the NFL are power-ups. Every now and again, after a play, one of the teams will randomly be given an overpowered play. There's quite a few of these, from incredibly overpowered to incredibly worthless. As I finished the game, I had become victorious, greatly surpassing the opponent's score to secure the victory. I celebrated for a few seconds before I remembered this game was made for 5 to 10-year-olds, so winning a game with a team full of great players probably wasn't worth celebrating. A few other options here on the main menu. There's an online mode, which, surprise surprise, doesn't work great considering I'm the only person playing backyard football 1999 in the year 2020. There's a trophy you can look at, which displays what team has most recently won the Super Colossal Cereal Bowl, and a book that shows you every single character in the game, their stats, and some great bits of dialogue. Also, if you click this football here, you can rewatch the opening cutscene if you felt like only watching it one time wasn't sufficient. Last, but certainly not least, is the season mode, which is the deepest mode in the game, and considering there's only 2 modes in the game, that's pretty impressive. Basically, you can make a team, draft players on a permanent basis, and play through football seasons pretty much infinitely. There's 16 total teams in the league and 4 divisions of 4 teams each. The top 8 teams will make it to the playoffs, which leads up to the aforementioned Super Colossal Cereal Bowl, which is the Super Bowl for 8-year-olds. If you're above the age of 10 and you pick all the best players available, it's pretty easy to breeze through the season with a perfect win streak and win the Super Colossal Cereal Bowl no problem. However, I have a different idea. Here's the deal. I've been playing this game since I was like 12, minus when my original copy got lost or broken a few years ago. So I've pretty much figured out what makes this game tick. How to always outplay the opponents, block field goals, get big touchdowns, etc. So for this video, I'm going to play through an entire season of backyard football and win the Super Colossal Cereal Bowl by picking the worst players in the game and putting them in the position they're worst at. I decided for my team to be the Invincible Fishes. I want to make sure everyone in the league knows how invincible my team is. And fish. My first pick is my quarterback, Luann. I'm making her quarterback for 3 reasons. 1, she's terrible at throwing, and 2, she's excellent at running. Look, I'm setting up the worst possible team in this game. I at least need a little bit of an edge so I can win at least 1 game this year. Oh, and 3, she's holding a teddy bear. I just think that's pretty cool. My next pick is Ronnie Dobbs. He's the youngest and smallest kid in the league. He's pretty bad at blocking, so I figure the best place for him is on defense. I feel like he'll be able to tackle kids 10 times his size pretty easily. My third pick is making the custom character, which I will add no skills to any position here to make this officially the worst character possible in the game. I couldn't think of a creative name for this character, so I got it! Fourth pick is Angela. I'm picking her to be one of my wide receivers because she's terrible at catching and running, which is the exact opposite of what you want in a wide receiver. Jorge will be my center because he's terrible at blocking. Kimmy is my second wide receiver for the same reason as Angela, because she's terrible at catching and running. Last but not least is Stephanie Morgan. Now, on first glance, she looks like a fairly competent player. She's pretty strong when it comes to every position except kicking. So I'm gonna make her my kicker. Here's my team. I set the game to hard and set weather effects to on, which means that when it snows and rains, it will negatively affect the players and make them even worse than they were before. I am making it as hard on these poor innocent kids as I possibly can. That sounded really terrible out loud, didn't it? Game 1. Our first opponent is the Green Bay Packers, one of the worst teams in NFL history. The game starts off pretty terribly. We march down the field only to throw an interception that was run back for a touchdown at the end of the first quarter. Same thing happens in the middle of the second quarter. Luann threw another interception back for a touchdown. Oh, and as Stephanie tried to run back the kickoff, she fumbled it and the Packers took back possession of the ball. With 4 seconds to go in the first half, the Packers scored another touchdown, making the score 21-0 at halftime. This isn't going to be a fun season, is it? After a pretty intense drive that took up most of the third quarter, Luann snuck in a touchdown, making the score 21-7. But despite our best effort, the Packers rushed the ball down the field and increased their lead to 27-7. For some reason, they went for 2 during the point after attempt, and let's just say they didn't get the 2. The Fishes started running down the field, and just when it looked like Luann was going to run down the field and score yet another touchdown, she fumbled the ball, which was picked up by real-life NFL legend Brett Favre, who ran it back for a touchdown. Guess I won't be inviting him over for the holidays this year. They went for 2 points again, and it didn't work out. Haha, take that real-life NFL legend Brett Favre, a 2-year-old took you down. Luann threw yet another interception, which resulted in a touchdown thrown by real-life NFL legend Brett Favre. At this point in the game, I decided to officially name Brett Favre as my worst nemesis, and swore to avenge this awful defeat should we meet again. The final score for the season opening game was 39-7. Most other players at this point would quit the game and either turn on something else or start over with a much better team. But not me. I'm insane. Game 2, the humongous Melonheads. We got the ball first, and Luann managed to run the ball back for a touchdown on the first play of the game, which is a much needed score after the bloodbath that was the previous game. Wanting to get as far ahead as possible, I decided to go for the 2-point conversion, but Angela managed to not catch the ball when she was wide open. The Melonheads easily rushed down the field for a touchdown and kicked the extra point, giving them a 1-point lead. Oh no, how will we ever come back from such a huge marginal gap in the score? Woe is us. Luann, who is probably the only player on the Fishes who will get anything done this year, rushed down the field for a touchdown. This time we went for the 2-point conversion again, and Angela caught the ball this time, redeeming her previous mistake and increasing our lead 14-7. The Fishes finally proved to be decent on defense and stopped the Melonheads to 4th down. We quickly marched down the field, and thanks to a hocus pocus play, we got an amazing touchdown, increasing our lead to 21-7 at the end of the first half. The defense continued doing great in the second half until the Melonheads were forced to punt in the middle of the third quarter. Stephanie, who shall not be named, started returning the ball but fumbled it, resulting in the Melonheads running it back for a touchdown, meaning we were now only ahead by 1 touchdown. Then they did a sneaky by kicking the ball onside and recovering it, which meant they could easily score another touchdown. The very next play, the quarterback fumbled it, recovered it, and ran almost 60 yards for yet another touchdown. The score was now tied and our team was falling apart. We needed a miracle to gain the lead and stay ahead until the game ended. Lucky for us, after a great pass and a great run, we pulled ahead again with a touchdown. Thanks to the Sonic Boom play, Floor crossed the goal line and scored us an extra 2 points, securing our lead at 29-21. But it wasn't over yet. 1 quarter to go, and the Melonheads had ample opportunity to come back. And come back they did, marching swiftly down the field and making us look like a bunch of newborns in that big hospital room where they keep all the newborns. I don't know, I forgot the name of it and I'm too lazy to look it up. The Melonheads scored a touchdown but couldn't pull off the 2 extra points. We were leading by 2, but with 33 seconds left, anything could happen. And anything did happen. Luann rushed down the field for a touchdown and Stephanie nailed the extra point. And with only 7 seconds to go, we pulled off the epic victory royale. I mean, yeah, the Melonheads got another touchdown right there at the end, but it was literally impossible for them to win, so yeah, we won 36-34. Game 3, the Tennessee Titans. The scary thing about this team is the fact that they have the league's best player, Pablo Sanchez. On the surface, he's just a short Hispanic kid with a shirt that doesn't quite fit him, but believe me, this kid is pretty much the secret weapon to end all secret weapons. The Titans easily scored first, but we answered back by swiftly throwing an interception and letting them score again just a few seconds later. Eventually, Luann managed to get across the goal line for a touchdown, making the game 13-6. But that didn't last long. The Titans swiftly scored yet again, making the score at the end of the first half 20-6. At the beginning of the third quarter, we got a hocus pocus play, which I hoped would give us an easy touchdown. But something more fun happened. The Titans intercepted the ball. I'm so happy. Oh, look at that. The Titans scored again. It's 28-6. When will the suffering end? Actually, at the tail end of the third quarter, Luann caught the kickoff and ran it all the way back for a touchdown and snuck in for the 2-point conversion. With a full quarter left to play, things were starting to look up for the Fishes. Maybe we could come back later and actually win this thing. I'm so happy. Game 4, the Little Monsters. On one hand, monsters are scary. On another hand, these guys are little. I'm not going to dilly-dally around this game and drag out the play-by-play, but let me just say, the Fishes must have worked really hard after their horrific loss to the Titans and pulled off a huge victory here, winning the game 32-8. In fact, the Monsters only managed to score once during the fourth quarter, and by then the damage had already been done. Game 5, the New England Patriots. Now, just as a general rule, in real life, I'm not a huge fan of the Patriots. For years upon years, they've been involved in various scandals around the NFL, including evidence of them recording other teams' practice sessions, and the whole Deflategate thing that happened a few years ago when they were accused of purposefully flattening balls to make it easier for them to catch. Basically, in real life, they're a bunch of cheaters, but this is a video game, which is totally different from real life. So, I shouldn't discriminate against them here. I mean, come on, they're a bunch of kids. It would be wrong of me to accuse them of cheating just because they're real-life counterparts. So the Patriots cheat their way down the field and illegally get 7 points. I've never seen such terrible cheating in all my years of being the coach of a small football team of small children. This is tragic. Thankfully, we answered right back and scored a touchdown of our own, tying the score 7-all. The Patriots cheat their way down the field yet again and get an extremely illegal field goal, which makes their score 10 points that they obviously cheated for. The score remains 10-7 at the half, but again, the Patriots haven't earned any of those points, so in my eyes, we are winning 7-0. The third quarter starts and the Fishes approach the goal line. A miracle happens. Someone other than Luann gets a touchdown. Unfortunately, Stephanie, our star kicker, misses the point after. How could she have possibly missed that? She's our kicker. We kick it off to the Patriots, who illegally fumble it, and we legally recover it. Kimmy Ekman goes down the field with a hocus pocus and secures another touchdown, increasing our score 20-10. 19-10. The Patriots get yet another illegal touchdown. Okay, I'm really appalled. I don't get how the referees never call a foul when that clearly was a foul. Did you see the Patriots quarterback throw the ball and the wide receiver catch it? I mean, that's a penalty if I've ever seen one. With only a few seconds to go, the Fishes attempted to get yet another touchdown or run out the clock, but the Patriots defense caught an illegal interception. They started rushing down the field and the game looked lost. They could easily score a touchdown and beat us. All hope was gone. And then that tiny little kid caught an interception. In the end, we scored yet another touchdown and secured the victory, winning the game 25-17. I mean, if you pull out all the illegal points, the final score was actually 25-0 because the Patriots are cheaters. Game 6, the San Francisco 49ers. After all these years, I still have no idea what a 49er is, but here we are. The 49ers got the ball first, but had to punt it on 4th down. The Fishes drove the ball down the field, but then Luann threw the ball right at Jerry Rice, who intercepted it. Literally one play later, Ronnie intercepts it back to the Fishes, but then Jerry Rice catches yet another interception and runs it back for a touchdown. That all happened in the first quarter. The Fishes answer back with a rushing touchdown and take the lead with a 2-point conversion. The 49ers were forced to punt during the next drive, resulting in Luann rushing her second touchdown of the quarter. Then with the 2-point conversion, the Fishes lead the game at the end of the first half 16-7. Luann runs yet another touchdown, increasing the lead to 22-7 after a botched 2-point attempt. The 49ers rush down the field, but the Fishes intercept the ball yet again, and a few plays later end up with another touchdown. In the end, the Fishes defeated the 49ers 28-13.
Hey, it's me, Vladley. Yes, it's my real name. Please don't look it up. I couldn't help but notice there. You're looking kind of bored. Almost like just some random white guy talking about football and just football things is not really that exciting? To take a quick little break from football and get back to things that are more interesting than football, I thought we'd just go over some interesting facts you may not have known in a new segment I like to call Interesting Facts That You Might Not Have Known. So the San Francisco 49ers are in California, so I thought, let's learn a brand new fact about California. Did you know that California has the largest population in any state? And it's one of the largest in size, too. Please don't ask why I own this book.
Game 7, the Little Monsters rematch. That's right, we're taking on the Little Monsters yet again. Now I know last time I kinda rushed through talking about the game with the Monsters, but honestly I figured I would go into just a bit more detail about this particular match. You see, what happens is we won 26-10, that was pretty easy. Game 8, the Tennessee Titans rematch. Now, last time we met the Titans, they crushed our skulls in, it was an absolute massacre, and I lost my will to live. Will this game prove to be just as upsetting and emotionally traumatizing as that one? Nah, we did pretty well. By the end of the first half, we were ahead 14-9, but unfortunately in the second half, the Titans took the lead with an interception back for a touchdown. I was starting to get PTSD from that first game, and I realized I couldn't let that happen again. I couldn't let the Titans crush the Fishes. So the next drive, Luann got away from Pablo to run all the way for a touchdown. But after missing the 2-point conversion, we were only ahead by 5 points with 1 quarter left to go. But then, Ronnie caught yet another interception. This 3-year-old is like the MVP on defense. Another hocus pocus later, and we secured the lead 26-15. The Titans fumbled on their very next drive, and Kimmy caught yet another hocus pocus. Then the Titans scored with no time left in the game, leaving the final score at 32-21. Game 9, the Silly All-Stars. Pro tip, if you want anyone on this planet to take your team seriously, don't call yourselves the Silly All-Stars. This game ended up being a pretty close game. At the end of the first half, the score was tied at 14. Unfortunately, the All-Stars ran away with the game in the second half, taking the lead and winning 34-22. Guess I should have taken the Silly All-Stars more seriously. Game 10, the Detroit Lions. Now, this team has one of the NFL legends in the game, Barry Sanders, so at first I was a bit panicked. The teams with NFL players tend to be a bit better overall. In the first half, the Lions started to run away with the score, being up 21-7 with 7 seconds left. But hey, good timing, we got a sonic boom and rushed down the field to get another touchdown. In the second half, we took the lead at 22-21, but then the Lions knocked us down drive after drive until at the end of the third quarter, they'd secured the lead at 33-22. It was still completely possible for us to come back and win the game. I mean, 11 points in one quarter, that's completely possible. Well, things started to look good for a moment. Luann rushed in a touchdown and Angela caught the 2-point conversion, making the gap in the score only 3 points. Unfortunately, we missed the onside kick, but then their quarterback threw an interception, giving us 8 seconds and a chance to take the lead and win the day. After a quick play and 4 seconds left, we got a hocus pocus play. This time, Kimmy caught the ball, but after making it to about the 6-yard line, was brought down, giving the Lions the win at 33-30. I would be mad that we didn't win that game, but hey, it was a pretty close match and we didn't lose by a lot, so there's no use crying about it.
I'm so happy.
Game 11, the Crazy Bombers. Now, I don't know about you, but associating craziness with bombers, it's, I don't know, it just kind of sounds like terrorism. This was a pretty close game, but fortunately for the Fishes, we were able to pull ahead at the last minute and secure the victory. Game 12, the New York Jets. It was a pretty close game at the end, but the Jets won 32-30. Pretty straightforward. Then this happened. After playing through an entire game, it decided to crash. And when I got back into the game, it was like none of it happened. Game 12, the New York Jets. We were able to pull off a pretty great victory here, winning 21-7. Yeah, I have no idea why the game decided to crash and not save that we lost against the Jets, but I'm just gonna chalk this one up to a Thanksgiving miracle and move on with my life. Game 13, the Amazing Wombats. This game was amazing. Haha, get it, because their team name is amazing. I don't know, I'm running out of jokes at this point. This game ended up being really close nearly the entire time. So close, in fact, that we had to go into overtime. Since the score was tied at the end of the fourth quarter, the Wombats got the ball first, but thanks to Jorge Garcia finally contributing this year, he managed to intercept it. After a few plays and Floor managing to catch the ball, Luann threw an interception in the end zone, giving the Wombats control again. Man, it's almost like Luann is terrible at throwing the ball. The Fishes managed to stop the Wombats to fourth down, causing them to punt it back to us. A well-timed leapfrog play popped up, giving Floor her first and probably only touchdown of the year, and giving the Fishes a hard-fought victory. Now, at this point in the season, we had one game to go until the playoffs, and we were in a 3-way tie for first place in our division. I started to feel like there was some hope for us winning the final game and the division, but then I saw our schedule and the final team we'd be playing. My heart fell within my chest as my eyes wandered across the word that drove fear into every heart. Game 14, the Green Bay Packers rematch. If you can remember really far back to the very first game of the season, you'll remember that the Packers absolutely demolished us in the opening game of the season, 39-7. Regardless of this game's outcome, we'd still make the playoffs, but the fighter in me wanted to defeat the Packers just as they defeated us 13 games earlier. First drive of the game, Luann rushed down the field for a touchdown and Stephanie tagged on the extra point, giving us a 7-0 lead. During the kickoff, the Packers fumbled the ball and the Fishes recovered it, giving us another possession. Angela caught the ball in the end zone, giving us a 14-0 lead. Brett Favre, like the terrible NFL All-Star he is, threw the ball straight into the arms of the little girl holding a teddy bear, giving us possession yet again. Stop me if you've heard this one before. Luann ran the ball in for a touchdown and our lead was now 21-0. Unfortunately, the Packers decided to start playing the game and managed to get a touchdown and 2-point conversion. At the end of the first half, the score was 21-8. I knew that the Packers could easily come back and destroy us in the second half, so we had to be on our guard. Midway through the third quarter, the Packers got a touchdown and a 2-point conversion. At the end of the third quarter, the Packers intercepted the ball and ran it back for a touchdown, taking the lead at 22-21. This is going downhill, isn't it? Well, not exactly. Luann ran it in for a touchdown, but since we missed the 2-point conversion, we were now only ahead by 5 points. The Packers rushed down the field and got a touchdown with 10 seconds left. 10 seconds left in the game and the score was 30-27. It didn't seem likely for us to win the game at this point. But then, Luann threw the ball down the field to Angela, who caught it and got it down to the 23-yard line with 1 second left. With literally no time left, Luann ran the ball into the end zone for a touchdown, giving us the win, 33-30. What a game. But we did it, we clinched the division and made our way into the playoffs. Could we manage to pull off an incredible end to the season and win the Super Colossal Cereal Bowl? Let's see who we're playing in the first game of the playoffs. Uh-oh. Playoff game 1 doesn't start out too terribly. Angela catches the ball and breaks a tackle for the touchdown, but of course Stephanie failed to kick the extra point, making it only 6-0. The Packers rushed down the field and swiftly took the lead 7-6, but I wasn't going to let that stop us. So we marched down the field and Luann threw an interception that the Packers took back for a touchdown, making their lead 13-6. That's not good. Luann made up for the interception by rushing a touchdown. Unfortunately, she threw another interception right after that, which made us fail the 2-point conversion, making the score 13-12 at the end of the first half. In the second half, the Packers scored a touchdown but totally missed the extra point. Ha! Imagine having a bad kicker. Couldn't be me. The next drive, we rushed down the field, resulting in Luann rushing in another touchdown. We missed the 2-point conversion yet again, making the score 19-18, with us trailing by 1 point until about 2 seconds later when the Packers run down the field for a touchdown and extra point, increasing their lead to 26-18. The odds were not in our favor, but this was the playoffs. We just had to pull this off. Luckily for us, Luann ran about 90 yards for a touchdown, but in order to tie with 17 seconds left, we had to make the 2-point conversion. So we made the 2-point conversion, tying the score at 26-26. The Fishes successfully stopped the Packers from scoring anymore, putting the game into overtime. And the Packers quickly got a touchdown, which means they win, which means we're out of the playoffs and lose the season.
Come on! And that was the inaugural season of the Invincible Fishes. Sure, we may have lost the season and not gotten to the Super Colossal Cereal Bowl, but we had fun. And that's all that really matters. As the wise Chuck Downfield once said,
Boy, you haven't lived till you've seen a pig flying 50 yards downfield for a touchdown.
Merry Thanksgiving, everybody!